This video is about multiple choice, multiple answers, and multiple choice, single answer in PTE Core Listening. Yes, if you are preparing for PTE Core, let me say this straight away. Listening is not about having good ears. It's about having a trained brain. And today we are focusing on two tasks from the PTE Core Listening section that quietly destroy scores, even for people with strong English. Multiple choice, multiple answers, and multiple choice, single answer. They look simple. They sound manageable, but they are packed with traps. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly how PTA Core designs these traps and how to avoid them, how to listen with intention instead of panic. And yes, we are doing exam style examples, not tiny, tiny toy examples. Okay, so stay with me. When we say part one, what PTE Core is really testing here? Before we split the task, you need to understand one thing. In PTE core listening is not testing can you understand English? It's testing can you process information the way an educated adult does in real life? So that means how to filter the information, how to prioritize with the meaning, and rejecting the weaker one or exaggerating the ideas, and resisting the options that sound clever but are not accurate. So if you listen passively, PTE core wins. If you listen selectively, you win. So let's break it down task by task, okay? So the first segment, multiple choice, multiple answers. This task in PTE Core, you will hear a 50 to 90-second recording, and it could be a lecture, a discussion, or an interview. You will see several options. More than one option is correct. That's why multiple choice, multiple answers. Okay. And the last part changes everything. So this task is not about how many you can select. It's about how many you can safely defend. Got it? So let me tell you the real skill behind this MCMA in PTE Core. Most candidates they think I should select everything that sounds right. That's the wrong mindset. In multiple choice, multiple answers, PTE Core rewards disciplined listeners, not enthusiastic ones. So here is the rule I teach my students. If you cannot point to a clear moment in that audio which proves an option, you do not select it. No proof, no click. Okay, so let's apply that to a real immersive example. Here is the audio transcript. If you want, you can just pause it and you can also read by yourself. Let me say it for you. Over the past decade, remote work has shifted from being a niche arrangement to a mainstream employment model. While many employees report increased flexibility and reduced commuting stress, productivity outcomes have varied significantly across industries. In sectors such as software development and digital marketing, productivity has often improved largely due to fewer workplace interruptions and greater autonomy. However, in roles that depend heavily on collaboration or hands on supervision, remote work has introduced communication delays and coordination challenges. Another concern raised by organizational psychologists is the blurring of work life boundaries. Employees working from home frequently report longer working hours, which can lead to burnout over time. To address these issues, some companies have introduced structured schedules, mandatory offline hours, and regular virtual check ins. Overall, while remote work offers clear benefits, its success depends on role suitability, management practice, and individual work habits. Okay, so here let's move on to the question which of the following statements are supported by the speaker's discussion? And you have four options here. Remote work has increased productivity across all industries. Reduced commuting stress is a benefit reported by many employees. Certain industries have experienced productivity improvements. Remote work has eliminated communication problems. Burnout can result from extended working hours. Of course, the correct options here are because it's not only one option, it's multiple choice, multiple answers, which means more than one is correct. So let me reveal that. Option B, C, E. Now let me break this down the PTE core way. The first option B. The speaker explicitly mentioned reduced commuting stress, right? So that's direct evidence, safe selection. And if you check for the option C, that is also correct, right? The speaker clearly says productivity has improved in some sectors like software development. Notice the wording certain industries. So that matches the audio perfectly. And option E is also correct because burnout is directly linked to longer working hours at home. Again, explicitly stated. So other options, option A is incorrect because all industries means that's an exaggeration, right? The speaker says productivity varies. So in PTE core, absolute words are dangerous. And option D, again, that is also incorrect because the speaker actually says communication challenges exist. So this option flips the entire meaning. So now let's move on to the MCSA, which is multiple choice single answer. So what changes in PTE core MCSA? In PTE core listening MCSA, usually the audio is shorter, 30 to 60 seconds. Only one answer is correct, and all options sound reasonable. Only one captures the central message. So, this task is not about details, it's about direction. Okay? And you have to ask yourself, if I had to summarize this audio in one sentence, what would it be? The correct answer always reflects that sentence. Okay? Now let's test this with an example here. So this is the audio transcript. In recent years, renewable energy sources such as wind and solar have gained global attention as alternatives to fossil fuels. While technological advancements have reduced production cost, widespread adoption remains uneven. One major obstacle is infrastructure. Many existing power grids were designed for centralized energy generation and struggle to accommodate decentralized renewable sources. Additionally, energy storage remains a challenge as solar and wind power are not consistently available. Despite these barriers, continued investment and policy support have led to steady progress. Experts suggest that long term commitment rather than short term gains will determine the success of renewable transition worldwide. Okay, so here the question is, what is the speaker mainly emphasizing about renewable energy? And the options are renewable energy has completely replaced fossil fuels, infrastructure and storage challenges limit widespread adoption, technological costs are the only barrier, adoption is rapid without difficulties, and short term profits are driving investment. So, which is the right option here? So, let me reveal the answer for you. Option B. Because the speaker's main message is not optimism. Okay? It's not celebration, it's the realistic evaluation. Yes, progress exists, but the speaker keeps returning to infrastructure limitations, storage challenges. So that's the backbone of the audio. Okay? And if you see the other options here, option A, renewable energy has completely replaced fossil fuels. No, that is factually wrong. And option C, this ignores infrastructure and storage, right? And option D, adoption is rapid without difficulties. Like this is like overly positive option, ignores the problems. And E, short-term profits or driving investment. It is exactly opposite of what the speaker says. So option B is the right option. Okay. So remember, in single answer questions, don't chase for details, don't overthink vocabulary, find the spine of the message. The correct option always sounds balanced, realistic, aligned with the speaker's overall tone. Okay? So if you remember nothing else, remember this. MCMA test, precision and restraint. Remember that. And MCSA test, big picture understanding. PTE Core rewards listeners who can reject the weak ideas, not just recognize strong ones. So, listening is not about speed, it's about judgment. That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more PTE code tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.